and welcome to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, the owner of Meraki Media Management. The End in Mind is a place where we come to share stories, tips, and strategies of many entrepreneurs, creatives, business owners, and just some people that aren't willing to live the traditional lifestyle. We talk about how to live outside of the box today and how to incorporate what really is important in your life to keep that end goal always in mind. Again, if you would like to reach out to me in any type of way, you can find me on Instagram at Meraki_media_management. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Thanks so much and enjoy our show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, and I'm really excited about today's guest. I have been following Petia for a while on her Instagram account. I know a lot of you also follow her, so thank you so much for being here today.
I am so excited to be here today. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the greatness that you're putting out there in your show. I'm so excited to be part of it.
Thank you so much for saying that. It means the world coming from you, and any good feedback is amazing. Sometimes it can be a little bit of crickets out there on online social media, even with podcasting, it kind of fluctuates. So that means the world. And I know that you're an Abundance Light Activator, which I absolutely love your title and what you do and how you help people. Can you explain a little bit more how you do what you do and what you've been able to help your clients achieve?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. And it's so fascinating because I feel like life is always taking us to the next step, whether we are ready or not. It's like, here, I will dump it on you. And, for me in my heart, I never saw myself as entrepreneur. For me, I just wanted to work forever for others and just, you close the door into work and you're done. And 7 years ago, I was fired from my corporate and I just had to really readjust my life. And with that, also readjust who I am being, because the results that I was getting in my life, it just wasn't what I thought it could be possible. I knew I'm meant for more. I just didn't know what that more is and how to live it. And I saw other people experiencing, and I was like, why not to me? Because up until that point, I was struggling with eating disorder, toxic relationship, depression, anxiety, attempt of suicide. My stepfather was very physically and mentally abusive. So all of that piling up always led me into feeling inadequate, feeling unworthy. And it's so funny because it's not even funny. It's fascinating to me. It's not like you wake up one day, you're like, oh, my life, it's not my dream life because I don't see myself as worthy. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. You don't see your blind spots. And this is something that I'm helping to discover my clients to truly activate their abundance in their own way. I only work with women. I used to have a different company. I used to have social media marketing agency. And then I stepped into coaching women because I realized, and I might be biased, but I truly feel that when there is a power in the feminine that it's healthy, that it's prosperous, it's nurturing, it's caring, the whole world becomes a better place. Because women, when they have money, what do? They take care of others.
Yeah.
They invest money in causes that they believe, and they're making sure their loved ones are taken care of. So I started to notice it in myself because women started to tell me oh, I love your energy. And this is a decade ago. I was like, what do you mean? What energy? What are you talking about?
Totally.
So back then, I just didn't understand that people would want to invest their time and money into being with you because they resonate with you, because of your energy. And so I just started to embrace that, and I became on my journey the one that I needed. I didn't need on my journey, and I would love to hear what is your journey like and what do you feel like you needed? Because I feel like sometimes we feel like, oh, I need accountability and I need strategy and I need to work harder and I need someone to tell me what to do. And that's what I tried in my life for so very long. Even my first coaches that I hired, they were very much in their masculine energy. It was like just like achieving and doing. And I'm like, I'm getting the stuff, I'm getting the things, but I'm not feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
So for me, what I needed on my journey is someone who will show me the blind spot, bring me the hope, help me to talk things through, create a safe space so I can express myself, and also loving and nurturing. I feel as women, when we're feeling safe, we relax, we soften, and we are receptive. So I'm curious, like on your journey, like did you feel the similar way, or did you like always knew like how to receive and relax?
Oh my gosh, I love everything that you're saying. It's so funny. It's always so timely, right? Like I was just on with a client today and we were talking about this sense of worthiness and where it comes from. And it's hard to accept, like it was really hard for me to accept that I wasn't worthy, that I didn't feel worthy, even though I thought that I did. I was kind of fake it till you make it, wearing this mask. Like I started my business when I was 23. So I was really a baby, I had no clue what I was doing or how I was showing up or how I was coming across. So it was very similar to your experience, especially with my childhood. My dad really struggled growing up. He lost his dad at a young age. So there was a lot of trauma in my family that just kind of bubbled up. And I definitely held a lot of it in my body, physically, and becoming an entrepreneur was really the moment where it was like, wow, if I don't grow, if I don't achieve, then I won't be able to get where I want to get, where I want my family to be, where I can take care of them. And it wasn't just about me, it was kind of about the collective. And I think that that's where the feminine was so important for me, because it's easy to fall off, when it's just about yourself. It's like, oh, whatever, I'll just skip the meeting or I won't show up today. But then when it started to become about my clients, it was like, boom, and then it started to become about my family. Oh, my friends are changing. My community is changing. People around me are talking differently. And then it was like, wow, I don't even care about the money anymore. It's really funny how it starts to happen, and it started to snowball for me. These are all like very recent, things that have come up for me.
Mm.
But I loved what you put out about recently about that you can have a successful spiritual business, you
Oh, yes, please.
know.
We have to like, it's so interesting to me because I'm in this community, and the thing is that I am personally very spiritual and I'm also very strategic. So like my son, it's in Taurus, so I'm very grounded, I'm very earthy. And it's interesting because what I realized that I love in my business, it's I do blend the strategy. Like I want a woman to know what to do. It's not like, oh, come with me and feel better on a call and then, well, what do I do, right? It is the strategy, but it's also like bringing in the spirit and the soulful success. And so many women that I'm seeing, they're amazing. They're like astrology, human design readers. They are meditation teachers. They are, like sound bath healers. So many beautiful like modalities. They're healer, visionaries, teachers, and they're undercharging. They're like undervaluing themselves. They're feeling like, oh, but this comes to me so easily and I'm here to help others. And I always tell them, you cannot be poor enough to help poor people. It's like when your health is not in check, how do you want to help and inspire those around you? It all starts with you. So upgrading it and activating abundance, it's something that it's a must for me, because I feel like that's how we change the world. When we step into the spirituality, the healing, going within versus being outside and outsourcing our happiness, outsourcing our worthiness. And I know that many of us done that. So please don't like feel bad or shame yourself. Like I've done most of my life. And when you see there is a better way, when you step on the better path, you can't go back. Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that you just said that. Recently, I went through a situation where I hired people and I thought that they were going to get me, where I thought I was going, which it's so funny. I didn't even want anything at the time, So I was kind of like, not manipulated, but it was definitely a sales tactic for sure, on something that I didn't even know. I'm like, I'm good looking back now, but it just didn't fit. Like everything they would teach me was so masculine, so out of touch and out of touch with the people I was working with. It felt robotic. It felt like too automated, for what I do with my clients. It's so one-on-one, it's so personal. And I feel like that's why people love it. But it was also like, wow, I can charge more and still serve. So I love that you brought that up. Like, how do you help your clients overcome that belief around money? Because all of us have our own money beliefs, and then it ends up totally holding us back in the end. We've talked about this a lot on the podcast too. So I would love to know your perspective.
I love that. And it's like I feel like we get to look at the results that we are getting right now. It's very important to like, it's like a radical honesty with ourselves. Like, where am I right now in my life? Is it life-giving? Is it making me feel good? And of course, there will be times where going through expansion growth and it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel, quote unquote good, but it feels right. Does it feel right, the path that I'm on? And it's very interesting because like, even though like I'm doing the money mindset work for so many years, there's still things that are coming out that I haven't like realized, like, like ancestral, like, my parents, my grandparents, past lives. And this is something that I do explore with my clients, because yes, you can do all the journaling and the affirmations and it's great, but I feel like that's like a cherry on the top. We really get to go like so much deeper. And I do that through NLP, neuro linguistical programming, with my clients. I do it through meditation, hypnosis, and I also use breath work and inner dance, which is Kundalini activation process. It helps you to go within and, like, you can see patterns that have been there for a lifetimes, literally. Like I had some clients who like saw their past lives. And I also, because I'm very intuitive, sometimes I'm with my client on a call and we talk about money. I was like, and I get a vision. Like last time I had a like vision with my client. She was like sitting like on a bridge in like 16th century and she was shivering and she was afraid for her life. And then now, even though she in this lifetime, she knew she can provide for herself, there was still this fear. If I don't make enough, I won't survive. So it's very interesting, guide my clients there, but also being able to like go so much deeper than just like journaling or affirmations. I feel like we get to look at where we are, but also like what is driving those beliefs and being able to rewrite them. And I love that you said that like with such a beautiful honesty. Like you had a coaches that were masculine, like I've been there, done that, and just didn't like, yeah, you get the results, but then you're like, oh, this doesn't really feel like me, and your clients will feel it energetically. So they won't be attracted, they will be repelled because they're like, well, this is not what I like signed up for. It's like you start changing.
Yeah.
I feel like we get to learn to embrace the feminine and feeling safe with the feminine, because she is nurturing, she's embracing, she is receiving, she's allowing. So I made sure that, and especially now for me, like I'm pregnant right now. So for
Yeah.
me,
Congratulations.
thank you, love. Like I feel like whether you're pregnant or not, like you get to create the space for the feminine. But for me, being pregnant now is like, that's what I want to do. I want to go inward. I want to be nurturing. I want to be softer. And it brings in like slowness. And I feel like collectively we are feeling it. So many clients were telling me like, oh my gosh, I feel slow. I'm like, enjoy it while it lasts. It won't last. It never does. It will pick up, it will speed up, and you will be happy that you had some time to like reflect and slow down. But with with the money mindset, it's like, look at what is right now, look at the results you're getting, look at the life you want to be living, are you embodying the version of you that would live that life? You know, would that version of you eat this way, wear this clothes, invest in, 5 pairs of shoes a week, right? It's like, maybe that's your priority. Maybe if that's what really lights you up, but it gets to like step into that identity, new identity, who you want to be becoming, and then looking at the past, not because we want to get stuck there, but we can just ask ourselves, like, what else is there? What else can I see? How deeper I can go? There will be things that will surely come up.
My gosh, I love like everything. I'm like, where do we begin? What you said, it was perfect because I think a lot of our listeners, that's where they get stuck. Exactly like what you described. When the growth process is happening, they're uncomfortable. My clients will say, what is my intuition, and what is scarcity? Like, how can I feel safe while feeling both of those emotions? And I think that takes time, but I would love to know your perspective and how you're able to show them like, this is just scarcity, this is connected to that root past in that moment, or the ancestral past. And this is the abundance. Like, this is the truth that you want to live. Is it really an individual experience, or are we able to help them find this?
I feel like it starts all with the intention, like us wanting to support them and having that collective intention, and sitting here, it's already like unpacking and unfolding something for them. I think it is very individual. That's like you. I love working one-on-one. I also have a mastermind, like small mastermind, that we work with a small group. And I feel like it's so individualistic on looking at your life and your feelings and your beliefs. There is no cookie cutter to say, just like, go and do this and this will change your life. However, of course, there are modalities and techniques, like I mentioned, like NLP, and really like shifting your mindset about money and how you're feeling, but also like asking yourself, like, how do I feel safe? When do I feel safe? When didn't I feel safe? Is that still true to me? Because so very often we have the unsafe patterns up until the age of 7, and we keep repeating all those old beliefs and patterns over and over and over again. So what made you feel unsafe when you were growing up, you keep expecting it to happen again. So that's why you're feeling in fight or flight. You're not feeling safe. You're not feeling abundant. So you get to step into that and just like create the feeling of safety. And from there, it will overflow. So you can ask yourself, when do I feel safe? Is it when I'm sitting in the shower? Is it when I'm going on a walk? Is it when I'm hugging a tree? Is it when I call my best friend or speak to my husband or wife, whatever? It's like, when do I feel safe? When do I feel soft? When do I feel relaxed? And create more of those moments, because when you create that in one area, it will overflow in the other area of your finances. So even though if right now you're not feeling safe with your finances, you're feeling there is a scarcity, well, focus on the things that are working. Amplify them, let them grow, appreciate them. It will change how you're feeling. It will change how you're seeing yourself, and that is going to change the results you're getting. So, like sometimes, and it's so funny because like my husband, he's also like a master coach. So sometimes the conversations we're having, like unsolicitedly, we're coaching each other, and he used to believe and say, like, you have to focus on your weaknesses and strengthen them. And I'm like, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, I focus on my strength and then I amplify it. And then my weaknesses, one, either they're not relevant because I can hire, I can delegate, I can just like do something else in my strength. But it's really interesting. It's all just perspective. When you can shift and change your perspective, everything around you will start changing.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to hear you say that. And I couldn't agree more. Like, I was actually talking to my coach last week and I had this epiphany with her. We've been working together for a year and a half, and she's a mind body coach. So it's more about creating safety. And like the listeners know, I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2020 when I launched this podcast. So they've been a part of this journey with me for a long time. And I was like, nothing in my life's changed, like since I met her, since I started my second business now. And it's all still working very well. Like nothing catastrophic happened, but I'm just happier. Like I wake up, I feel good. I don't feel scarcity. And of course, there's moments, right? If I make a business decision that's out of alignment, but it's way less intense. Like before, it would feel so intense. Like I would have an outer body experience. I would literally leave my body. So now that I can stay in my body, it's like, well, this is way safer, like I feel way better, grounded. And it's really strange how all of this work starts to collectively shift the mind. And I would love to know your experience in your personal life, but maybe also with your clients, how you've seen that shift happen. Because I know for me, ironically, like it built over time, meditation, breath work, consciousness, whatever we want to call it. And it really did feel like a matter of a week where the shift was happening so quickly.
It's fascinating. And I love that you said that because it really compiled. It's not like you will be meditating for a week or you will be working with a coach for a week. Of course, you can have a quantum leaps, and my clients experience it in their finances, in their relationships, and their healing. Of course, that can happen. Very often, what we don't realize is that we have been doing the work, we have been planting the seeds. And sometimes I tell my clients, like, we can get so impatient. It's not like you will plant tomatoes in your backyard and the next day you will go there and yell at them like, what's wrong with you? Why you're not blooming? Why you're not growing? Like, where are my tomatoes? You will give the nature the space, but we don't give the space to ourselves. So I feel like changes can happen really quickly, and you got to be in a space that you're feeling safe and that you're allowing it, that you're feeling receptive, because you can be working on it years. And if you don't allow those changes to come into your life, if you're not feeling safe, if you don't soften to receive it, you won't see it, even if it's like in front of your face.
Oh my gosh. How many times have we seen people do that over the years? It's like this great opportunity. Essentially being in this space, it is hard to bite my tongue at times, like I will admit that, because it's not my journey always, to advise, but I couldn't agree more with what you're saying about how the world it starts to just shift quickly. And I love what you mentioned about the quantum leaps and how you've seen clients experience that, and I'm sure that is a crazy experience, like waking up overnight and it's just so different, and then there's probably a whole nother level of healing that comes after that on acceptance.
Always, always. And it's so fascinating because, we feel like, oh, I have healed this, I have dealt with this, and there is another level, So I did have clients who like wanted to work with me, and they were like, Petia, I really want to work with you, but I have like money for 1 month and I don't know how I will pay the rest of our program. And then like in 10 weeks, my client did $77,000, and she never did it before, in her life. So there can be a quantum leaps, not like overnight, but they can be breakthroughs that really shift you and move you and help you see things from completely different perspective that allows you to see the world around you differently. It's not like the whole universe will like change because you have changed, but you will see it differently. So I feel like it's so beautiful when you can witness it, and I love seeing it on my clients. And usually it's a deep process. Like my clients, they love staying in a long-term containers. Like you're with your coach for a year and a half. I have clients who are with me for 4 years, because we grow together. It's a mentorship. As I grow, they grow, and we expand all together. And it's so life-giving to be witnessing it.
It's so special. Like even working with my 6-month clients, seeing where they are versus where they are now, it's like, wow, like I can't believe I'm a part of this. It feels like a privilege, to be a part of the growth and the shift. It also feels like for society, which I think is so necessary.
Yes, it is. And I feel it like we're all feeling the shifts, like the things are moving and shifting the past couple of years in such a speed. And now I feel like some things like slow down and we are like, what is happening? Like everything was happening so quickly because people were awakening and realizing they don't want to live the life they were living before. So everything was happening too quick. And now it's like slowing down a little bit and people have time to reflect and to readjust and pivot.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I couldn't agree more. It always comes back. Like it might be years and years later, but I can understand where people have never experienced something like that. And it's kind of like, how does this all work? How can we put words to this possibility? And I see that sometimes with my boyfriend. So I try to give him those little examples, I think they help him along the way. Do your clients experience that too? Is it's kind of like, what does this look like? This next step is the unknown hard. Yeah.
It is. And I feel like that's when you get to really surrender and trust because sometimes, like you said, there are no words for it, but you can feel it. Like sometimes, women come to me because they saw me on a summit or podcast or, saw my Instagram and they're like, I don't know how or why, like, how did I find you? But I'm so drawn to you. And how do you put the words to it? It's just like knowingness. It's the trust, it's reconnection to your intuition, it's a knowingness. And the thing is, sometimes we are trying to tell people the possibilities. Don't tell them, show them. Embody that. Like I embody the possibilities. Like I'm a girl who comes from very small town, very small country, unpronounceable name. Everything that could go wrong literally went wrong in my life up until like almost my 30s, and then I was able to shift and build a business, multiple 6-figure business that I love, working with women who really inspire me, marrying a love of my life, being now pregnant after, loss last year. It's like so many things are expanding. And yeah, I love writing and you can read a lot in my captions or hear on my podcast, but it's the embodiment.
Yeah.
People can feel you. And I feel like especially now people have like this BS meter when they're like, oh, I don't know, like this person is saying this, but I don't feel it. It's just like people can feel when something is not like genuine, when something it's not real, even if they cannot like specifically say, they will feel it. So when we embody these changes, our friends, our family, our partners, they will start like asking and they will start mirroring, but it's not through us telling other what to do.
Yeah.
We gotta show them, and I love also looking at like human design. I work closely and deeply with human design too with my clients and myself, like looking at human design, to see like what is our strategy to live. Like, are you supposed to be invited? Are you supposed to respond? It's so beautiful when you can go back to yourself and really understand what is your blueprint. Who did you come here to be? It frees you tremendously. So you embody your own truth versus walking in the conditioning of others. And that gives you the freedom to be unapologetically you and live in the realm of possibilities versus living in the conditions of others.
Wow. I love what you said about the leading by example. That's also something that I feel like we do when we're healing. Like, even a lot of healers listen to the show. So, if you're kind of trying to piece together, like, am I doing that? You probably are. But maybe when you want things to shift, I love how you said just leading and showing and embodying. And the more you'll just connect with yourself. It's so funny. I was on a podcast a few weeks ago. I feel like this is so like reflective now. I'm kind of having like a moment. He kept asking me, how do you deal with like when clients are unhappy, or, like how do you handle your anxiety? And like with my social media management business a few years ago, that was something very frequent I would experience. And my clients, I wasn't embodying myself. I just hadn't done the work yet. I didn't even know what I wanted or who I was, honestly. So of course I wasn't able to reflect that back to them. And I said, I just now, if a client doesn't like me or we're not jiving, we just don't work together. Like it's as simple as that, and my people find me and I trust in that. And there is a level of magnetic magnitude that my clients feel when they hear that. And I'm like, well, you have this too. This is not like a special power. It's just a choice. And it's almost a level of respect for yourself, which I hadn't really thought about it like that before. But I do think now healing is really building that respect with who we are internally and not turning them down, like not shutting them up, not ignoring them, that little person or that part of me, that I didn't always bring light to.
Absolutely. And I love that you're reminding that to not only your clients, but also the listeners, like magnetism, it's a real thing. When you can truly embody who you are, you will attract and repel people. And it's fantastic because I always say, like, I don't care who doesn't like me because I care so deeply about my people, my tribe, that I'm not going to invest my energy in a people who don't resonate with me and don't align with me. It doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't make them wrong. It just means like we don't align with our visions, our values. You go your way, I go my way, but I don't feel bad. I don't feel, that it's a waste, or it's just, I had so much energy leaking at the beginning of my first business, social media marketing management, because I felt like working like hard is going to like prove myself to the clients, but they were not the right clients. They were not the right people for me at the time. I had to experience the contrast to see what I do desire instead. And I have such a beautiful, loving, and deep connections with my clients now. Like they're like my family, and I'm so thankful for that. Versus proving myself and working hard, it's not necessary because that's not what my clients want. They want to work with effortlessness and simplicity, and of course we are putting in the work because we are, many of us business owners. It's not like you do nothing and everything is happening, but you're doing it from a place of alignment and from place of soul, and it feels so different.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like it was so meant to be that you and I connected. I didn't even know that your first business was social media management. That is so funny because I still have my agency, and the listeners know, like for a while I thought about dissolving it, and there's moments, of course, but I was able to build a team that's great at what they do. And now I just pass them the clients, and of course I'm a little bit involved, but it's much less pressure that I was putting on myself. Exactly how you described it was like so intense, like one thing would go wrong and it was like tornado. I know you totally get it.
Oh, I feel you. It's, oh my gosh. Like I remember one time when I was still going, like many years ago, I was still going to working in a corporate, getting my master's in business at the same time, and also having my social media marketing business. And one time I went out for a weekend into the cabin, into the mountains, and the internet wasn't working. I had such a like freak out, like, oh my gosh, my clients will fire me. I cannot work. I cannot do the things for school, whatever. And I had to go to the nature and just like completely disconnect. Then the internet started working, and I was able to achieve many more things than, before, because I was able to calm down and relax. And it's funny because I did release my social media agency, but I still kept one company, one client, because I absolutely love them and I love their product, but my team is doing it. Like here and there, like you said, I'm involved, and it's beautiful because it brings so much love and abundance into my life. But there is no pressure. There's no pressure. There is just so much love and just like when you build a team, it's, oh my goodness, so freeing when you can work with the people who really see you and see your vision and can support you. And when I started, it was just like one girl show. I was doing everything, completely everything, building my website, doing my email, sales pages, reach out to everything. And now I have a team who helps me, and they're each in their own gifts, so I can stay in my gifts and in my flow.
Love that. I'm so happy that you shared that. That's what I want the listeners to hear, like this is possible. They can do this. We believe in you. So please reach out to us if you are feeling low or that you can't create this. If we can, we all can. Wow, this was just so special. Thank you so much for your time. Can you tell us what to expect from you coming up? If there's any new offers or anything that you'd like us to share with everybody, and then maybe if they have questions where they can head to your website and things like that.
Absolutely. I love this connection too. So many synchronicities between us, Caitlin. I just love that. And I believe that our listeners also benefit from this energy and these insights. To connect with me, I feel like the best way is really my website, petiakolibova.com, or my Instagram. I'm daily there, Petia Kolibova. And what's coming up for me, the offers is, I shifted so many things because of pregnancy and baby coming in summer. And I still love doing my one-on-ones. That's where my heart is. And then we have a mastermind, Ritually Rewarded Mastermind, where we help women to be abundantly paid to be themselves with ease and no hustle, no hard work, being in beautiful, loving, safe space and community, and having the spirituality and the practices, but also the strategies and marketing feedback because of my background, in marketing. We help them to, build all of the details for their business to be fun, fulfilling, but also factual, so we have a business that it's functional. So all of that you can learn on my website or my Instagram. And what I'm doing now, because right now I'm in the second trimester, I don't know when this is going to be launched, but I'm like, right now I have energy and I have the stamina and I have the space. So I have created also a free offer called Abundance Activation Process, where I walk you through 30 minutes call, where I look at your blind spots and possible money blocks and abundance blocks, and help you walk away with a strategy on how to shift it and really activate abundance in your life. So I will, Caitlin, send you a link for all of these, because like I said, like the activation process, abundance activation process, it's limited time for next, couple months while I'll have energy for that. We'll see what happens when the baby comes. But this is very transformational, very deeply transformational, where you can really look at your life and or your business and see where there can be a leaking energy and how can you shift that and have actionable steps.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll have the links below for everybody. And I just know they're going to love you so much. So thank you so much for your time. I know we went over a little bit, but I appreciate you.
You are so amazing. I love your energy. And there is just like so many synchronicities. And if there is anything that I can support you, I know you have your support system, your coach, your family, and your beautiful clients. But if there is anything I can support you with, just let me know. I'm literally just a DM away. I really love your energy and personality. It's so beautiful. And I'm so happy we connected and we could talk today. So thank you. And thank you also so much for your flexibility to rescheduling for my birthday. I completely forgot. I'm like, I really don't want to work on my birthday. Thank you, my love. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to The End in Mind. I would like to remind you all, if you haven't yet reached out to me on Instagram, we are at Meraki_media_management. It will be in our show notes as well. If you would like to reach out to me, we always offer free coaching through Instagram based around our Instagram training and our business Instagram practices. If you need any type of support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me there. And we also offer several different types of consulting and training packages if you're looking for a little bit more in-depth tips. So thank you all for listening in, and of course I want you all to keep the end in mind as you continue with your day and or work week. Have a great week, and I will see you all next time.